Hello, I'm Valentina Ballesteros, the founder and project manager of Entom, and I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. First, I'd like to introduce our team, Matt, the research and development director, who is in charge of continuously evolving our products, Sam, our head of operation, who oversees our day-to-day production process, and Pat, our head of business development, who ensures new client relationships and maintains the one we have. So I'd like to introduce the idea that catapulted the concept behind our product. And it is the fact that livestock produce annually the equivalent of 1.4 billion tons of CO2 just due to their manure. And we wondered, what happens to this manure once it's excreted? What are the possible reuses and what can we do with it? So we began looking at the components of manure and its possible uses. I'm sure you're most familiar with the nutrient aspect of it, how it can be used for fertilizer or compost, also due to its fiber-like properties, or it can be simply converted into energy. But ultimately, we realized that there is a large amount of manure that is underutilized throughout the world. From 20 to 50%, depending on the country, it is estimated that it is underused, stored incorrectly, and continues to emit harmful gases such as CO2 or methane into the atmosphere. So we wondered, what is it that we can do to mitigate this issue? This is when our product comes in, Entaloop, which is an insect-based livestock feed that targets omnivorous livestock groups. The production process is a circulatory system, which minimizes cost and the reliance on external resources in comparison to other livestock feed alternatives. It undergoes four main stages. The livestock secretes the waste is then treated against harmful bacteria such as E. coli. It is then fed to insects, controlled population of coprophagous insects who are natural decomposers or recyclers, and then these insects are converted into what the livestock feed is. So you must be thinking, why should I invest in this product? It not only has nutritional benefits for your livestock, but it also has financial benefits for you as a client and environmental benefits as a whole. When looking at the nutritional benefits of Entaloop, we can see that it is comparable to the nutritional profile of soybeans, which is one of the most used plants for livestock feed throughout the world. In most categories, it overperforms soybeans, for example, in protein content, and it also has a better amino acid balance. But in other areas, when it quote-unquote underperforms, it mitigates this issue by having properties that are unique to insects. For example, it has a lower amount of fiber, but it has chitin, which has prebiotic benefits, and it doesn't contain anti-nutrients such as those found in soybeans. Now, finally, these other benefits encompass financial and environmental benefits simultaneously. And the first one I'd like to talk about is to reduce the reliance on plants for livestock feed. As seen before, soybean plants have an extremely rich nutritional profile, which is why there is such a high demand for them throughout the world. So much so that 70% of soybean plants in the world are used uniquely to feed livestock. The issue that comes with this is that soybean plants require vast amounts of external resources for their maintenance and development, such as large terrains, vast amounts of water, which ultimately lead to unbalanced pH in soil and strip the soil from its minerals, making it very difficult for other plant and animal species to flourish in the area. And our product, due to its circulatory system, would mitigate these environmental impact issues. Another issue we'd like to mitigate would be to reduce overfishing. Livestock also feed on content that has fish, leading to overfishing, which has detrimental effects on our ocean. And by using our products, as mentioned previously, the circulatory system allows for low maintenance, low environmental impact, and would again mitigate this issue alongside with a reduction in costs. And finally, the reduction in transport cost and emissions. The idea would be to install these insect farms near livestock farms and reduce the environmental and financial impact on the world and our clients. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and thank you for paying attention.